Hello students, now we are going to learn the instrumental learning. So instrumental learning, it is nothing but the animal, which learn the trial and error basis. This is the trial and error basis. The animal want to achieve the something or want to learn some difficult task. So within this, the animal try get the things, and after trying few attempts, he will become the expert for that particular situation or for that particular behavior. So animal learn through the multiple attempts, by the awards, and punishment could be the making correct or the incorrect responses. So here in 1898, Thorndike, this is a scientist who just do one experiment. It is a wooden puzzle box, and he analyzed that when the cat paddle that cage, then the food is just come inside of that cage. So he created one cage and put a cat inside of that cage, and that cage having a one paddle. When this paddle pushed or pressed by the that cat, then gate will open, and the bowl of the food, it just came inside of that box. So this is the experiment created by the Thorndike, and after that experiment he analyzed, or he find that the animal search some method or some technique, and learn to get or to learn to avoid or to get the things those are in front of them. So this is very interesting learning. So next, the significance. What actually the significance of this learning? Animal learn by the trial and error basis, and they use some alternative ways to learn or to get that things. The next, this is a inside behavior. So here also one experiment done by the scientist, and Wolfgang Kohler, he did one very simple experiment. So he created one cage, and inside of cage, this monkey, actually this is chimpanzee, it is present over there, and at the top of that cage there is the one banana. And the scientist put a stick just inside of that box. There are the two sticks. So that chimpanzee, he tried to get that bananas, but it is reach out of its attempts. So he just tried to find that stick and want to get that banana with the stick, but the stick is not reach over that banana. So again he just wandering here and there. Then he find another piece of that stick, and that chimpanzee fit that two piece of the sticks, and then he tried to get that banana, and he easily get that bananas. So that chimpanzee learn how to just reach to that particular the food item which is just hanging on that seal. So this is a experiment, and from that experiment the animal, how the animal could overcome on that particular or a very difficult situation. So complex, this is a very complex situation, and within that complex situation, how the animal to learn to overcome from that very complex situation. Okay, so here is the complex form of the learning and evolves cognitive elements or the higher mental process as reasoning and the problem solving. Next is the aspect of the animal behavior. Okay, so first is the communication in bees. We are very well known about the honeybees. Honeybees having the hive, and n number of the bees are present over there. So they collect the honeys from the nearby flowering plants, and they should just come inside of that hive, and this is a regular practice they are doing. So how other and the bees, they know where actually the location of that particular flowers, and so how they communicate with each other. So here honeybees, we are very well known that they are the social animals. They are living in a social, okay, so colonies, and the communication done by the several methods. Here the one Austrian ethologist, okay, Carl von Fisch, okay, so he observed the honeybees that practice, and then he realized that okay, there is a special dance they honeybees perform when they just came inside of their hive, and he recognized that there are the two types of the dances they perform. First is nothing but the round dance. Okay, so the bees, those are foraging bees. They find out where actually the plants, flowering plants are there. Okay, when they came inside of the hive, okay, they perform the round dance. Okay, so this dance, when they perform this dance, the flowering plants, they are suppose less than the 90-meter away, okay, from the hive and the flowers. When this distance is less than 90 meters, then that foraging bee perform the round dance. Okay, this is a round dance. Okay, so bee perform this series of the circular movement, okay, right and the left per second. Okay, this forage bee carries the some order of the flower, and other worker bees also perform the same dance, because thousand number of the honeybees are present over there. Okay, so the worker bees, those actually they want to collect the nectar. Okay, so that all the other bees, they just observe the dance of that one foraging bee, and they start performing the dance. So entire on this bee have several patches over there, and the bees, they perform the round dance, and entire hive, okay, know that the flowering plants, they are nearby the hive. It is just less than 90-meter away from their hive. This is the round dance. And the next dance is the waggle dance. So the waggle dance is performed by the foraging bee. If suppose the flowering plant, they are just away from their hive, and it is more in a 90-meter distance, then they perform this dance. Okay, so 90-meter away from the hive. Previously round dance, it is less than 90-meter, and waggle dance, it is when they perform the waggle dance, when suppose the flowering plants, they are 90 meters away from their beehive. So foraging bee perform this dance, and they create a one figure. It is a 8. Okay, it is just like the our 8. Okay, they just create a one loop. Okay, and they just create a one, okay, number, Okay, 8. So left to the right with the waggling the abdomen in a straight line, in a straight line. And this is the faster movement indicate the food is closer, and the longer the duration is the greater distance. And also they their head position, on that head position, okay, it realized that where is actually the position of the flower against the sun. Okay, so orientation of the waggle run convey the direction of the food sources with reference to the sun position. Okay, then next is the communication in ants. Ants, they are also a social animal. Okay, so they, when one ant or the foraging ant, okay, they just start to find out the food material, and then they come toward the nest, toward their nest. But before that, they search this food in several ways. Okay, but when they come at their nest, okay, so they find out very short distance, and within this path, okay, they release a particular type of the pheromone which is secreted from their abdomen. And this is the pheromone which is just present on this ground, and other ants, they find out, okay, this food material, okay, by sensing or by just smelling the pheromone or that scent which is present on that trail mark. Okay, so this is very interesting communication in the ant. So where the food material is present, and that particular foraging ant, when just come inside of their nest, okay, she also give the signal, one type of the signal to the another ant, and all these ants reaches toward the food material. Okay, so this is the communication in ant. Next is the mimicry and the coloration. Mimicry, it is nothing but this is a very defensive process. Okay, the organism which is a harmless organism, okay, and it just mimics that, just like the poisonous organism. Okay, so organism copy the another organism to prevent themselves by the from the predators or prey to get confused. Animal get protected or warn predator to keep away from them, because they mimic just like the other organisms. Those are poisonous or they are predator. Okay, so the other organism get confused. Is a one example. Batesian mimicry. Okay, in the Batesian mimicry, what happened? It is a resemble of an appetizing or unprotected species. The unprotected species made that harmless. Okay, so these species want to protect themselves, so they resemble just like the poisonous or the other organism. Okay, so here is some example. Hoverflies. Okay, this is a buff Hermes and the white Hermes moth. Okay, so it is just a mimic just like this. Here is also the monarch butterfly, and this the viceroy butterfly. Viceroy butterfly, it is a butterfly which is a very harmless. Okay, so it mimic just like the monarch, and when you just see the monarch, it having a emetic alkaloids are present on inside of its body. So predators don't dare to catch or the engulf or hunt that monarch butterfly. So automatically the predator get confused that viscera butterfly, it is just looking like the monarch. Then next one is the Billerian mimicry. Okay, this is several unpalatable species will share warning colors to avoid the predators. Okay, so when you just see this animal, then here is the very bright colors are present on its body. So because of the bright color, the predator assume that that particular prey having a poison. So this unpalatable species will avoided by the predators. Okay. Next is a self mimicry. In this self mimicry, what happens? The organism on its body, okay, having some specific type of the unusual patterns. Okay, and because of that, the predator will get confused. Okay, with that color, or they just create one type of the very particular type of the sound, or some having some chemicals also. Okay, when you just see this moth on the wings of this moth, okay, having a particular type of the design, and this design is resemble just like the owl eyes. So the predator, when you just look toward this butterfly or this moth, then that get confused that it is just look like the owl, and so this is a self mimicry. Then next one is a Washmanian mimicry. So in this Washmanian mimicry, what happened? The other species of the organism, it mimic like the so here I just want to explain one thing. Here the ant is here is one ant, and this picture it is nothing but the spider. But when you just see here the spider, it is just look like the ant. So this ant is a very so that spider can get its prey easily. Okay, so display mimic like the host, or they live in that same nest. Okay, so this is a jumping spider mimic like the ant. Then coloration. Okay, coloration, it is why the bright colors present on the body of the animals, because it is a signal to give the predator that they having some certain type of the chemicals which is very harmful, okay, or it is a poisonous. So defensive adaptation help them to avoid the predator, first thing. And this is nothing but the warning coloration. Warning coloration means the showing the or the advertising that I am the poisonous. So that's why they're having the such type of the patches or the patterns of very bright color. Okay, larva and the alert of the monarch butterfly. When you just see the larva, this larva it is feed on the milkweeds. So the weeds that milkweed having a poison. Okay, so that larva consume that leaves of that milkweed, and because of the larva consuming that milkweed, its entire body or the every cell of the body having the poison. So the birds avoid these larvae, especially the monarch. Okay, and when it become the adult, the birds know that that particular butterfly it is of that emerged from that the larva. So that birds recognize that this is a butterfly of that very poisonous larva. So the birds or the predator avoid these butterflies. And next is nothing but the coral snake. This is an example. So coral snake, they having the black and yellow with the red stripe, indicating that they are the very deadly poisonous, or they having the venom. Okay, so the predator avoid this thing. So this is about the today's lesson. Thank you.